Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I wanted to make a video about the injury that I had that got me to think about all of this. So back in April-ish of 2025, my personal trainer had me, I met him at the gym, and they were going to have me do a squat using the Smith machine. So got it all set up, and I go in there, and I couldn't get my arm back far enough to hold onto the bar. And they said, don't worry about it, we'll work on it. And I thought to myself, okay, that's fine. And then we moved on to something else. Well, then me being the impatient person that I am, I decided that I would work on it myself. So I go to Google and I look up a bunch of different exercises. And there's one where you take a resistance band and hold it out in front of you at arm's length, and locked elbows, and go through the full range of motion to the back, till it's behind you. And I got to a certain point and I couldn't go any further. My arm would not go any further, and I forced it. And the extreme pain, I dropped my knee, grabbed my shoulder, and I was in so much agony, it was awful. And I'm like, oh crap. So then, trying to just nurse it along to see if it got better, I changed how I did weights. I dropped to about 50% of what my working weight was, but increased the reps and tried to keep everything, the range within comfortable. I worked within the pain. Wasn't getting any better. I Googled other things about shoulder recovery, and I got a brace. I bought things that you spin. I even tried BPC 157. Nothing worked. As a matter of fact, then finally I got to the point where I was like, I've got to go see a doctor. So went to an orthopedic specialist. He takes a look and he says, well, I'd like to give you a shot. So I got an injection. And then they said, here, we're going to give you these exercises to do. Do these for 6 weeks and see how it comes out. See if it gets any better. If it doesn't, then at the end of 6 weeks, what we'll do is we'll do an MRI, take a look in there, see what's going on. So I take my exercises and I'm doing them. I'm doing them religiously. I'm doing them, and it just keeps getting worse. And to the point, about 4 weeks in, I can't move my arm. I literally am walking around with it across my body because it hurt all the time. I couldn't shift, putting it from park into drive. My car, I couldn't do that. It was really difficult to put clothes on. Trying to put a shirt on, trying to put my coat on, things like that was just hard. Finally, comes into the 6 weeks, go back to the doctor, talk to him, schedule the MRI, go do the MRI. And one of the things they wanted me to do is, I had to put my shoulder in certain places. One of them is, we wanted you to have it over your head, and I couldn't even do that. No, I can't do that. I'm like, okay, well, we should be fine with what we've got. So scheduled an appointment that very day with the doctor, because the MRI was in the morning, doctor's appointment was in the afternoon. And so we go to the doctor, he looks at it, he's like, yeah, it's a mess. He said, not only do you have torn labrum, but you've got a vertical tear in your bicep tendon. I'm like, oh, great. So I scheduled the surgery. I was going to be, it was going to be on a Friday. He does all surgeries on Friday. So I took time off from work on a Friday and Monday. I figured, okay, because they wanted me in for therapy on Monday. So I get the surgery on Friday, go in on Monday for physical therapy. And I was supposed to do physical therapy 3 times a week for the first 6 weeks. So the surgery happens, we go in, and they put 5 anchors on the labrum, reattached the tendon from the top of the shoulder to the bicep tendon from the top of the shoulder to the under the shoulder, not on the shoulder anymore. And they also cleaned up some impingement and also some arthritis. They did all that in there. So I show up at the physical therapy, and they're like, okay, we're just going to be doing light stuff, very light stuff, because there's a lot of stuff in there. Just think of it, it's just cooking. So I had some amazing physical therapy. There's 2 of them. Shout out to Jen and Mary Beth for all of their help in getting me through all of this. And now we're talking, I'm going through physical therapy. I'm doing it as much as I can. I travel some for work, and that was just really difficult to do that. But I am faithful. I'm going, and finally I get to the point where I feel like I'm comfortable enough to go back to the gym. Because I went to the gym even when my arm was still in a sling, and I'd just do leg days. Pretty much 3 days a week I'd be going in just doing leg stuff. And finally it got to the point where I was out of the sling and started doing some light stuff, cable push downs, things like that, just so I'm not moving my shoulder. And incorporating all of the exercise. I mean, I have a stack, probably about that high, of a single sheet of paper that has one exercise on it that I can do. And I was doing this. I was going through it. I'd literally take the stack of paper and do that one exercise, go to the next one, go do the next, just keep going through the whole stack of paper. Finally got some strength going, got some strength up. I feel like, okay, I'm going to actually start staying within the pain range. And case in point, doing the chest press machine, it hurt so bad to push. I couldn't push anything. So I had a really light weight, so I would push it out, and then I'd hold on, and then slowly come back, drop my arm, push out, slowly come back until it would hurt. I did that. All of my actions were within the pain range, so where there was no pain. Anytime there was pain, I'd stop and redo something. So got back into it, and one day I had to sleep in the recliner because I had to sleep, like this, and it was awful. And I was taking my bedding back, my blankets and stuff, I was taking it back into the room, and I stepped on the blanket and I checked the door. I mean, bang, it slammed right into the door with my shoulder. I have never experienced pain that intense in my entire life. And I'm talking sprains, broken bones, all of that. You name it. Nothing was that bad. I honestly thought I was going to throw up. So I sat on the bed and, just hoping it would pass. And I felt like I was going to throw up for about 15 minutes. And finally it started going away. I thought I messed up my arm again. I really did. So when I went to physical therapy, I told them about it, and they checked. They're like, nope, okay, it seems okay. It didn't look like you really messed anything up. So I'm like, good. Then finally working through breaking up scar tissue, it was awful. So I had to, I wasn't getting good range of motion. I mean, I could only raise my arm about that high. Now I've got better range of motion, but this is as far as I can go. I keep going higher than this. So it's getting better. But I wasn't progressing at all. It was awful. And I went to the doctor, and when I mentioned, he's like, well, how's your therapy going? I'm like, not very good. In my opinion, it's not going very good. I'm just not getting the range. And he said, well, there's a couple of markers. It's called frozen shoulder syndrome. There's two types. One is a result of surgery, and the other one is the one that happens to older people or just people. So I obviously am having the one with regards to post-surgery frozen shoulder syndrome. And there's a couple of markers that might indicate that I could potentially have that. So I knew kind of going in that might happen. And one of those markers is having been diabetic. So my diabetes is in remission because I've lost 100 pounds. But because of that still being there, that marker, I ended up having frozen shoulder syndrome because of the surgery. So they said, well, our options are just keep doing what you're doing, or we can put you out and manually manipulate your arm to break up the scar tissue. And I'm like, this was on a Monday. And I said, can we do it Friday? Because I was going to be on vacation the very next week. And they said, yeah, sure. Okay, we'll do that. So I had to get an EKG done, got the EKG done. And then that Friday, again, they only do stuff on Friday. We go in really early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. We're there. And they do a nerve block. And then they put me out, which technically they don't put you out. You just don't remember it. I mean, I was still cognizant of what was apparently, because I said a few things that they kind of chuckled about it. After I came out, they told me some of the things I said. And, but that nerve block was funny because I literally could not move my hand. I couldn't move a finger, couldn't do anything. And I had physical therapy that very day later on. And because I had to keep my arm in a sling until I got my feeling back. So I had to sleep in the chair. And so here I am in physical therapy, and it's literally a dead weight. I mean, I have to pick it up and move it, do all this stuff, and it can move because it's, you know, there's no pain because they've got a nerve block in there. So we're doing different stuff and check the ranges, and the ranges look good. And so I get done with physical therapy. I get home. My arm is just, honestly, it was kind of disconcerting that I couldn't feel it, couldn't do anything with it. So that was kind of crazy. And then at nighttime, I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I could move my arms. So I'm like, okay, forget this. So I took my sling off and went to bed, and went to sleep in the bed instead of in the recliner. And so now I'm here. This, as of today, this is February 1st, 2026. And so basically that injury derailed my my fitness journey. So here I am. I still don't have 100% range of motion, but it is a lot better. I still get some stiffness at the peak ranges. But overall, I am very happy with the progress. I did a few things that normally I would feel pain for. There's no popping, there's no extra things. It feels good. I'm getting stronger there. There's a couple places where I'm still kind of weak, but I'm getting there. And that's all I can ask. So that's the injury that has kind of precipitated all of this. And thank you very much for watching. Bye, everybody.